Right now we have a healthcare crisis, but we're having all the wrong discussions. We're focusing on funding and who's going to pay for the pills and procedures instead of talking about how to actually take care of your health. Did you know, for example, that as many as half of all healthcare dollars are spent treating and managing high blood pressure and diabetes? The vast majority of healthcare expenditures are spent extending sick lives instead of promoting active, healthy lives. How many people do you know who have been getting physically worse since their 20s? Are you one of these people? Humans were designed to be in their physical prime from about age 20 to about age 65. I've talked about that in another video. But instead, as many as 100 million non-elderly Americans, meaning Americans under the age of 65, are managing some sort of a chronic condition, such as heart disease, cancer, obesity, hypertension, asthma, type 2 diabetes, and dementia. Chances are decent that if you are 45 years or older, you may already be dealing with at least one of these. The ugly truth, though, or the good news, is that these diseases are largely preventable. Now, admitting they're preventable isn't to say that the victims deserve to die or they brought it upon themselves. Honestly, in today's society, the deck is stacked against you. For example, while I was prepping for this episode, listening to my Pandora station, an advertisement came on, and in essence, what it said was, you're done working, and you're sitting down to watch an episode, and now you're watching another episode. Basically, it describes somebody binge watching several episodes, and now you're hungry. Now you go to the fast food joint and you order a cheeseburger, and you come back and eat your cheeseburger while you watch the finale. And I thought, wow, could you possibly set this up any better for me? They're promoting that type of behavior as normal, or perhaps something that we can all identify with, or something maybe we can even aspire to. And then 2 songs later, I got another ad for to have a huge nacho fiesta platter delivered to my house. The resources and information needed to give us a fighting chance simply have not been available, but they're available now. In fact, some scientists speculate that in the 21st century, we might be able to eradicate or greatly reduce diseases of affluence, just like we eradicated or nearly eradicated childhood diseases in the 20th century. One of the problems with discussing this type of thing is that if you talk about them being preventable and then you die from one of them, which is still a possibility, people will line up to dance on your grave. And we're all going to die of something, probably. You know, there was a news article in the last couple of weeks that talked about an experiment where they kept people in a pressurized oxygen chamber, and a lot of the key markers of aging reversed. They had longer telomeres, etc., but that can be another discussion. So what is it that brings on the diseases of affluence, and how do we avoid them? So one of the big culprits is sugar and artificial sweeteners. They wreak havoc on your insulin system. Your insulin responds, it damages. Insulin is good for cleaning up sugar, but it does collateral damage to your blood cells. If you are continuously stressing your system, then you'll build up plaque in your arteries. It just kind of wreaks havoc on you in general. So now a second thing, food companies have to make profits. Their shareholders look to see the company growing year after year after year. And the size of the American population is not growing as fast as they would like their profits to grow. You know, they want them to grow by 5 or 10% a year. If your consumer base isn't growing by that amount, you have 2 choices. You either have them eat more food, or you make the food they eat more expensive, and they're using a combination of the 2. So what they do is they make the food taste really good and at the same time be unsatisfying. Have you ever eaten a whole pizza by yourself? and you're stuffed and you physically can't fit more pizza in, but you still want to keep eating pizza, that's no accident. They intentionally design food to be that way. Try doing that with hard-boiled eggs. I'm not sure, but you'll probably stop eating after a handful, after just a few of them. Same thing with apples or other things that humans have been eating for a long time. Your body recognizes them as food, and also we're sedentary. Sitting is the new smoking, as they say. It's good to get up and walk around about once an hour or so, but a lot of us are just stuck at desks. And not only does that keep you from burning calories that were historically spent walking around in places and, commuting on foot, etc., but it changes how your tendons and muscles and joints and bones all work together. And if you're in a chair like I am right now, historically speaking, this is an unnatural position for someone to sit in. I should be squatted clear down to my heels. I mean, for example, people are becoming less flexible. You also have just traditional smoking, which is making things worse. If you still smoke, find a way to quit. I know that's so much easier said than done. And stress is a killer, especially this year. I'm making this video toward the end of 2020, which has just been a whopper of a year. We've had riots, we've had presidential turbulence, we've had the COVID pandemic, all kinds of stuff that could cause stress. So find a way to manage stress. So there are a handful of diets that seem to do pretty well, but so which diet should you go with? There's vegans, vegetarians, keto, paleo. There's even straight up carnivores who only eat meat, and all of them do pretty well. All of them show remarkable health improvement. Longevity, don't know. It takes forever to study that in humans, but they all do better. And why do they do better? Well, in short, it's because just about anything is better than the traditional American diet. Just about anything you do is going to be better. Now, there's another explanation that's maybe a little more zen, and that is that each of those diets, veganism, vegetarianism, being keto, paleo, or a carnivore, it's as much a change of philosophy as it is a change of diet. It's an identity change. It's a mental reboot. The person thinks, they don't say, I'm on a diet. They say, I'm a vegan. They don't say, I like to watch what I eat. They say, I'm a carnivore. Or they'll say things like, I do fasting, or I follow the Wim Hof method, or I'm a triathlete, or a swimmer, or a surfer, or a trail runner. It's an identity change. It's who I am. So any of those diets of I'm a vegan, I follow paleo, they're identity statements, and they indicate somebody who is taking active control of their health. And to some extent, all of these require you to forego some amount of convenience. And that's actually part of the story behind the name modern day Sparta, by the way, is going to that convenience is another time. So how do you want your grandkids to remember you? Wouldn't it be awesome to bring your grandkid in and show them your gym, or to join them on a 10K or run their first 5K with them? Two of my grandkids spent last Christmas shouting words of encouragement from a couch as I taught myself to ride a unicycle in the basement living room. How do you want your kids and your grandkids to remember you? As somebody who you have pictures of them when they were young and healthy, and then by the time you knew them, they were overweight and inactive and just really didn't, they were kind to you, but how do you want them to remember you? Put some thought into it. Maybe it's time to make an identity change. Maybe it's time to adopt some sort of a lifestyle change. Think about it. And to wrap back up with the beginning, we started by talking about healthcare. Take care of your health. Take some steps to become a healthier person. That's all I got. Click like, click subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments section. We will talk to you later.